Hey everyone, I'm about to show you a clip from a talk I gave to a marketing class at a local university. In this particular clip, I'm gonna kind of tell you my story from being a high schooler that tried to put up a movie website to 20 years later becoming a full-time movie YouTuber. And along the way, I'll talk about some of my failures and what was the idea that clicked in my head that led to my eventual success. So if you've got a channel and you're wanting some inspiration and some ways to think about how to change the direction of your channel, potentially for growth, check out my story. Hopefully it can help. The full talk is available over on my Patreon page. If you join at any level, you can gain access to the full 50-minute talk. The link is down below in the description. Here you go. So my name is Sean Chandler, as he mentioned, and I do YouTube full-time. I'm a Rotten Tomatoes certified movie critic, and I have no degrees in any of this. I didn't take any marketing classes, I didn't take any video editing classes, I didn't take any film journalism classes, didn't take any film classes. I have no formal training in anything that I do for a living. That's kind of one of the things that makes the 21st century amazing, is that you can just get started and build an audience, and if you have things to say that resonate with people, then you can be successful at it. So in my particular case, right now I have 146,000 subscribers. I have a silver play button. As I mentioned, I am on the Rotten Tomatoes website. Sometimes people say that they hate that website, and I guess that means that they hate me since my reviews factor into those scores. But I started roughly 3.5 years ago when it comes to just this specific channel, but I failed at trying to build something for about 20 years. I put up my first movie website back in, I believe, 1997 or 1998. So I was much younger back then, and it was a Jackie Chan fan page. So I'd review Jackie Chan movies. There's a picture of Jackie Chan's body, and he did his own stunts. He injured himself in his movies. So you could like click on parts of his body and see in which one of his movies he got hurt on that particular part of his body, which is a little bit of a creepy image. Had a little counter in the bottom left corner since it was a website in the 1990s. And in the 2 years that I ran it, I think I got up to almost 1,000 views or 1,000 clicks in 2 years. At the time, since I was in high school, thought that was a big deal. Looking back, wasn't quite as big of a deal for 2 years worth of work. Throughout all the zeros, I was on every message board, talking about movies. I was in every comment section. Back then it was mostly IMDb and bulletin boards. Starting about 10 years ago, I started putting blogs up. Had one blog that I ran for 7 or 8 years, and in the span of those 7 or 8 years of trying to monetize it, trying to do affiliate marketing with it, I made $90 in about eight years, so highly profitable. Failed at that. I tried to launch my YouTube channel for about 3 years straight, and kept starting and stopping, and failed at it horribly. And then in summer of 2016, I was unemployed, went on a date night with my wife who's in the back to go see the new Ghostbusters movie. The internet was like just thrashing that movie, just hated it. So I went to go see it. I thought it was okay. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. I was just kind of like right middle of the road on the film. Thought, okay, I'll try and post a reasonable review on it on this little YouTube channel that I haven't done anything with in 2 years. Posted the video assuming I would stop in 2 weeks, and a year and a half later it had become what I did full time. And why do I say that? So some people think like, because I went from starting it on a total whim, thinking it would just end, to being full-time in about 2.5 years, some people perceive that as a pretty quick transition. In my mind, I failed for 20 years before I got there. There's a whole bunch of things that I did, running blogs, websites a long time ago. I learned a whole bunch of lessons. So when I started this YouTube channel, I went, I think I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna try and do this right. It changed pretty dramatically the way I thought through it kind of all along the way. So go a little bit deeper into the specific story of kind of how my channel started to grow. As I mentioned, when I first started the channel, I was unemployed, so I couldn't go to the movies, and I had a movie review channel, so that's not very effective. So basically, I just tried a bunch of different stuff. So covering movie news, the movies I did go to see, I tried to like milk it for as much as possible, like 3 different videos out of one movie that I saw. And that ended up, I didn't know it at the time, but that was kind of what led to that experimentation, my success later on. 9 months into my channel, I hit my first 1,000 subscribers, which at the time was like, wow, 1,000 people care enough about what I'm doing. That's pretty cool. And that same month, 9 months in, I made $11 total. Actually, that same month, I started a Patreon account, a membership site, and my mom donated $10 to it. So with my adult allowance, I actually made $21 that month. And so I was thinking, I'm putting a lot of time into this. I'm putting almost daily videos. I made $21, 90 cents per day. My wife doesn't exactly like how much we're getting paid for this. So I started thinking about quitting actually at that point in time because it wasn't going anywhere fast enough. Right around that exact same point in time, we were going into summer 2017, and I just had this thought in my head. I looked back at what I'd done before, and when I put out a movie review, it'd get like 100 views. If I ranked all the movies in a franchise, it would get like 400 views. And I'm not great at math, but I do know that 400 is more than 100, and I went, all right, let's double down on that this summer. So Pirates of the Caribbean, the Alien franchise, there's always a Marvel movie coming out, Transformers, all the franchises. I just watched all the movies in them before the new release, and then I ranked all of them. The strategy worked. 3 months later, I'd added a second 1,000 subscribers, so 3 times as fast, grew to that 2,000 subscribers. It's like, okay, that's pretty cool. Maybe I won't quit just yet. Then jump forward just a few more months, a movie called Thor Ragnarok came out, and I went, every time I put out these rankings, they're like 40 minutes long. I would never watch that myself. I'm creating content that's doing well, but I wouldn't watch it. I don't have time for that. What if I tried to make it the size that a normal human can actually watch? So I said, let's do this in 10 minutes. That's my time limit. If I record too long, I'll edit it down. It will be 9 minutes and 59 seconds, ranking all the Marvel movies. Up to this point in time, my video with the most views had 22,000, which at the time was like 22,000 people. I live in Hutto, Texas. There's 23,000 people there. That's pretty cool. I put out this ranking where I thought, let me think, how do people actually consume content and design it for them? And that one got 350,000 views. Oh, okay, well that's a little different. Start actually making some serious money at that point in time, or serious money in regards to you can pay a bill with the amount of money that brings in. And I'd been interviewing for some other jobs, like I was underemployed at the time, and whenever that happened, I went, this seems like there's something here. I think this is going somewhere. And so I actually stopped looking for another job, and with wife's approval, was like, let's see if this YouTube thing can go somewhere. 3 months after that, the movie Black Panther came out, and I took a suggestion from my comment section to talk about the Marvel villains and the heroes inside of it, and posted these videos just a couple days after the movie came out. One of them, to this day, is the most viewed video on my channel with just about 1 million views, just shy of that. And then the other video is my second most viewed video with like 700,000 views, and they were released 2 days apart. And these suggestions I took from the comment section literally changed my career trajectory for my life. And starting at that point in time, I started making more money from YouTube than I did from my day job. And so I just started saving that to be able to convince wife to responsibly jump into the wild world and environment that is YouTube. And then I guess 11 months ago, February of last year, was able to go full-time on YouTube with wife's approval. And the whole plan's kind of worked wonderfully. And to tie back to something I said before, the last Saturday of April of last year, I made $1,100 in that one day. 2 years prior, April 2017, I made $11 in the whole month. Excuse me, that math's slightly off. I made $21. My mom's allowance does count. I made $21. So in a single day, I made 50 times as much money. That's not normal. That's not at all like, wow, let me do the math on how much it makes. No, that was, I built my channel around Marvel movies. That was the Saturday after Endgame came out. There's a bunch of things that led to that day being very profitable for me. But just as a point of contrast, that's kind of the trajectory that YouTube has been for me over the last several years. Hopefully my story was able to help you out just a little bit. If you want to see the full talk, you can check that out over on my Patreon page. Join at any level and you can gain access to that. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking YouTube too much.